Tracee Ellis Ross's underwear has people talking, and find out how Tyler Perry dealt with a family member that didn't show up for work.
We got all that and more, plus actress, producer, host, and our friend Claudia Jordan is here to help keep us in line.
All right, you know, I cannot wait to dive into all the mess.
Welcome to Side Dish.
The world is yours.
There we go.
Sky's the limit.
Man, back at it again, and listen, you already know the vibes. Here's Side Dish, more than an appetizer when it comes to pop culture and fun. We are the whole meal.
How's everybody doing tonight? How you guys feeling?
I'm happy to have my voice back.
Okay, yeah.
I'm good. I'm happy to be back with you guys and to
Oh, thank
dish.
you.
Yes, it's so fun.
You got like rapper voice.
I do have a really raspy voice my whole life. I used to rap back in the day, not like you though.
Okay, but I always felt like if you did decide to like lean all the way into it, you'd be
Yeah.
like female Jadakiss. You know
Female Jada?
Because you're
All
smart,
right,
you know what I'm
okay.
saying? Like you can put
Talk
the
a
words
lot of
together.
trash.
Yeah.
I have a raspy, husky voice.
All you need is like a laugh or like a thing to be your accent. You know how like Missy had he have,
What would mine be?
and Jadakiss had ha.
So I need like a
A thing. Like what's your
an outburst. I need an outburst. Tana, give me an outburst. You have the blackest family names. So
Oh yeah, I don't know. I feel like you got to come up with like shoot, like I don't know, like
Shoot,
something,
okay.
and then hit your bars.
Shoot.
I don't
I
know.
can't sell it.
I don't know.
There we go.
And then
Okay.
I think it's somewhere in there.
I don't know. Headkrack.
we're working on it. We're workshopping.
Maybe I'll stick to
Figure it out.
modeling.
Figure it
All
out.
right, man, well, it's time for some Feed Me, and leave it to the folks in China because they're definitely not helping the epidemic of bed rotting. Check this out.
What?
What is going on?
Oh.
I mean, I do that, but my bed doesn't move. Just eat in bed. Is this what?
Yo, up the stairs?
See, they don't have that at my Sleep Number place.
No, that's wild.
What sleep number? Oh, in the mud?
Sir.
Really? What are we doing?
All terrain.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That could be interesting a couple times a year, you know?
Now, what if like your bed had a straight path from your house to your job, and you can kind of like, you know, like Dracula sleep all the way there,
I like that.
and then just pop out.
But don't you look a mess when you're in bed, though?
Yeah.
You know that person did not get up and brush their teeth and then take the bed on the road.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, exactly. You spent all this time building a remote control bed on wheels
With bad breath.
With bad breath, stinking.
Wash your butt, please.
I know.
These are things I expected more so from people who would be like on My 600-Pound Life.
Right. Yeah.
You know, those people who are bedridden, can't move around.
they got to cut the hole in the house to get them out, and
Yeah.
they're still in
You
the
need
bed.
a strong engine for that, though, to get that bed around. I think.
like a 6-cylinder.
Diesel.
Got to get yourself a V8 bed. That's what you need. All right, moving on. Tisha Campbell chatted with Angela Yee on the Lip Service podcast, and the ladies asked her which era was her favorite for dating. And here's the interesting thing Tisha had to say.
What do you think was the best time to date? Like, was the 90s it? Now is not?
I don't know. Let me tell you, I never really been asked on a proper date by a man.
Ever?
In my life.
To this
In my
day?
life. In my life.
Wow.
I always had boyfriends. So I went from boyfriend to marriage.
How did you get from point A to B?
What do you mean?
Like, how did you
From
get to know them?
introduction to boyfriend.
Yeah, like how does somebody become your boyfriend?
Somebody would always like I was always like a catch, or they wanted to snatch me up, or so I always had boyfriends, and I don't have a long roster. I don't have a long body count.
Yeah.
But we got time. No, I'm playing.
Someone's young.
I don't have a long. So I just went straight from that to marriage. So the whole dating thing is all new.
Oh, we need to get you a cover. Somebody ask you on a date.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, how do these men become boyfriends without taking her out on dates?
You'd be surprised.
So you fall in that same pocket.
The numbers are not good now.
Oh, really?
So when you meet someone that kind of likes you, you're like, all right, fine, I'll be your girlfriend.
That's weird.
It can't be that hard. for you.
weird.
Is it that hard?
Excuse me, it is very hard. And this is what a guy nowadays thinks a date is, I'm gonna come through, or I'll meet you there. Like, there's not picking you up and courting you and all that. I don't really see much of that. And if it is, it's some old guy that's probably someone else's husband, and we're not doing that. So it's like, what's a girl to do? Yes, so it's like, It's very easy for men right now. It's like shooting fish in a barrel.
Oh
Who put that expression
wow!
up? It's really
I
bad.
don't know. I don't know. I'm the resident outside dish person, and I feel like now here's the thing: is like I do take girls on dates. Like I will if it's in the beginning, I'll meet you at a place for cocktails, right? And I'm covering the bill, but like, we might meet there because like in the beginning, you might not be comfortable with me like picking you up,
Right.
Being in my car. You don't know me that well, so it's like okay, cool. But after a while, like I do directly go to like on Friday, I took a girl to see Superman. Bought the tickets, picked her up, dinner before, and now I've known this girl for a long time.
What happened afterwards? Did you get some?
Don't worry about that, Claudia.
I want to know. Isn't this side dish? I'm supposed to be dishing our business.
Yeah. I mean, no, let's,
Let me look at you. See if you got. I think you did. I think you got to second base at least.
Oh, well.
You felt the titty. You did.
Is that what qualifies as second base?
Yes, that's second
Yeah.
base.
Okay.
What was first is?
First is like I thought first was like smooching.
Yeah,
you know,
this is
kinda
like
lean
first
in,
base.
Little
Okay.
tongue
What base?
entry.
And what did you get to? What base?
Listen, Claudia, a man doesn't kiss and tell.
Yes, he does. A man kisses, screws, and tells the world.
Does a podcast about the whole relationship?
Yeah,
Right.
it doesn't-
Names it after
yeah,
the
exactly.
person?
That's where we
no,
are now.
I can't. She says she's never been asked on a proper date. I did ask her on an improper date. The year was around 2003, and there was
Okay.
some rumors floating around that like she wasn't with old dude no more, right? So I was like, hey, so what are you doing after the interview? She's like, boy, I'm still with my husband,
Who was it?
Tisha.
Oh, you. Oh.
Shoot or shoot. You know what I'm saying?
You shot.
I shot. And I had like a window of opportunity to
I'm on
climb
that.
through during that time. Like I wasn't like, cuffed up. I think I was in between situations at the time. So I was like, shoot, if not, why not? And she's like, boy, I'm still with Dwayne. Like, and I was like,
That is
oh.
hilarious.
So you trying to take her on a date. I like that you guys are pro dates, it seems like.
Yeah, because I'm from a certain pocket of time where you had to go and do all the things.
That's my thing. Is like, is this like a young man thing these
think
days?
so.
Like, I'm
Like-
talking about men under the age of 30.
If you look online and you just like kind of see what people are talking about, it seems like it got really, really casual. Where like, I mean, the Netflix and chill thing kind of ruined things. I think that should be a boyfriend-girlfriend thing, not a getting to know
No,
you thing.
that's not a beginning thing.
The
So
era-
what would you say was the best era for dating?
Early 2000s, people had a little bit of disposable income. That's when the R&B songs were popping. There's like lots of love songs. People were
People
singing
singing in the
about love.
rain.
Yeah, like, and
felt
that's
it.
when videos were like that, and they were singing.
Oh,
they were
yeah.
like,
When they're
I
hitting
need
it with
you, 'cause they
these
was doing
things.
that. That's when they loved us when they did this. When they stopped doing that, when they started doing this instead.
Oh, dabbing?
Oh, when we started hitting the
this,
dap.
And this, they're like, get out here, bitch.
Oh, the TikTok.
I don't want a girlfriend. I don't want a wife. I don't want that.
I think guys that did this they were shy. Like, don't look
Yeah.
at me.
Yeah.
You looked at my direction. Don't look at me.
Don't look.
So are men not good at taking women out on dates?
I don't know.
I don't know who these men are.
Yeah, I don't. It's weird to me. I also think that a lot won't. Here's okay. Now I'm gonna get off on the real deep end here. I think social media has warped a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I feel like women are putting up with terrible behavior from men. But I also think it's because women are all. I feel like if there's 10 women, they're all going after the same guy.
That's true.
And he's able to treat them poorly, and they put up with it.
I feel like that's largely true in Atlanta because like most of the people I talk to that live in Atlanta, they're like, yo, that's the game. But then you go to places where the table's a little bit more balanced and it's any person's game. Like Houston? Oh my God.
There's a lot of good-looking men in Houston.
I don't know about that, but but far as like women having it together and you being able to meet halfway without all the shenanigans, Houston was always a vibe. And mysteriously Little Rock.
Oh, Little Rock.
What?
Yeah.
What you know about Little Rock?
So I used to do like retail for different for different record companies.
So that's
and
what the dating scenes are
That
like?
was one of my markets. I'm like, yo, y'all aggressive. Y'all came up to the car. They were aggressive like the Water Boys.
Oh, wow.
Except it was like women.
Sadly, I do
we can
see a lot of
Little
women
Rock.
kind of checking out of dating now because a lot of them are not putting up with what they used to put up with. Like, I think a lot of women, especially of a certain age, do remember the golden years of dating, the 90s and 2000s, and will not settle for this, what you doing, where you at. Not even spelling it out. Now it's just like WYD.
Oh yeah, what you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you up?
Yeah, it's not even like a full word.
But that's like, I mean, we're just hooking up at that point if we're sending each other the WIDs.
Now, on your date, what did you like text her?
What did I text her?
Yes.
Was
Was it a proper invitation like, I would like to take you out?
Let me see here.
The actual receipts?
Yeah. Let me see here. I'm not scared of it. Okay, here we go.
Don't run from it. Don't run from it.
Boom, boom, boom.
I like when guys talk publicly about the girls that they like because I
Yeah.
know she's watching and she's gonna be smiling right
She's
now.
not watching.
Oh, that's why you're talking about her?
Yep.
Is this the recurring character who we've been talking about?
No,
Okay,
this is
different
not the
person.
Russian.
Okay,
No,
cool.
No.
Oh my God, you're not supposed to be specific because if you have more than one, you could be like, baby, I was talking about you.
I don't have more than one. I went through that phase. I went through that era of time. But no, I'm not messy anymore. I used to be messy.
It used to be, yeah.
I used to be a little messy.
We need the message.
I'm trying to find the message.
Production is saying that we have to, we cannot move on until we
Sometimes
get
you can search for specific words and then there's a little...
sorry.
Oh, there's a lot.
Yeah, we're friends.
a lot of
Do you guys sex?
We're friends.
Sex,
So Friday, 3:44, because we'd already discussed we were going out, and I said Superman or Mission Impossible. She said Superman. 7:30 at Regal Atlantic. We could grab food there before. Sounds good to me. Blah blah blah, and then I go pick her up. I'll pick you up around 6:30. Is that too soon?
That's so cute.
Come on now.
Okay.
Ladies, there's hope. There's at least
Yeah.
one guy out here that's doing it the right way, not just gonna hit you with the WID.
Yeah. No, I might hit her with the WID later. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding a little bit.
All right, Joey Chavez, who has a baby with Bow Wow, Future, and Trayvon Diggs, is tired now. She recently went on social media and vented about motherhood and needing a break. Take a look.
Tired, y'all. Like, you know, it's like having 2 kids is one thing. Having 3 is like having 10. The babies is where they at. I need a break. Shy is with her dad. Hendrix is with my mom. And her too. It's so hard to like manage a business and make sure I'm overseeing that Instagram. Someone says stop having them if you're tired. Good one. Shut up. People be tired without kids. Like, what are you talking about?
All right, now she thought her baby daddy's having money would have made her life easier. But you know, moms need a break, and maybe she should just get a nanny.
Yeah, if you are getting the money you're supposed to get, because just because your baby daddy's got money, you're just kind of like in collections.
That's true.
Trying to get money from people who you know probably should have it. And I also gotta say, good for you. Like, based on the people's names you mentioned, she could start a super group with her children.
She could. You know, I do think people also demonize women like this because they're like, well, you got 3 baby daddies that are known, that have money, so it's easy to like villainize that type of woman and like not really give her any empathy or sympathy. But even though you may have more money than other baby mamas that are making it happen, it's still not to say that there's probably still a lot of stress dealing with all that. Like, who wants to have 3 kids running around?
Yeah.
3 kids is a lot of kids. Once you have more than 2 kids, you must have 7. You know, there's that component. And it's coming from a person who has 4.
You have 4?
I have 4, all boys.
Oh
too.
my God, so they're always into stuff.
Always
like having
in-
boys are like having like raccoons, right? Like they're always digging
Messy
in
and-
stuff,
and-
knocking
younger.
stuff,
Yeah.
breaking stuff.
Yeah, just going through things.
But raccoons can be smart, but they also can be sneaky. So yeah, the
Right?
parallels are all there. I would imagine after the second name brand baby daddy, you would realize that there's a pattern here. And maybe you should get somebody who needs you more than you need them.
So they call him a regular guy, right?
Yeah, a civilian, if you will.
Civilian,
Someone who's
okay.
not in the life.
Probably so. Yeah, because maybe the stars tend to be a little bit more selfish and narcissistic.
Because it was Bow Wow the last one, right?
I think so.
Oh, Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs was the last one. Yeah.
And apparently his offense too good. You can't keep him down.
that man.
He out here with Cardi.
Yeah.
Some days I think about my 20s and 30s. I'm like, did I have poor vagina management? Because I could have had some nice child support if I would have just like followed through with one of these guys. And I was always like, no, I want to do myself. I want to be an independent, strong woman. And here I am.
So if you could jump in the time machine Cadillac and jump out and tell yourself who was in your 20s,
You said what?
if you could jump in the Cadillac time machine and jump out and tell yourself who was in the 20s, something different, how you could move better, what would you say to yourself?
Don't just go for like the fine guy that's nice. Like, it's okay to like expect some kind of level of success out of him as well. Actually, I didn't have bums. It's not like I had bums, but I definitely wasn't like motivated by like their success. I wasn't. And I will say, in her defense, Miss Chavis, she doesn't have any of them on child support. Is what I just got a note about.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
so maybe that
doing
contributes to
good.
why she's more stressed
Yeah,
out than it's not
sure.
what people think. So don't assume that you have a rich baby daddy that you're actually getting those checks.
Well, yeah, the ones who have more children, you should probably pin them down and put them on some sort of child support.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be like, it's kind of like when you're paying your bills in order. Mortgage, Netflix. Don't be Netflix in the whole bill payout hierarchy, man. You got to, plant your flag and let them know you mean business.
Speaking of men in business, Tyler Perry, this is a wild one. On the latest episode of Den of Kings with Kirk Franklin, Tyler Perry shared about how he had to fire his aunt from his company. Check it out.
I fired my aunt.
I feel it.
I fired my aunt. She said she wanted a job. She would always call asking for money. I'm like, okay, I was sending the money. I was like, listen, I want to help you. I don't want to help you build this thing, not be welfare to you. So let me give you a job. She wasn't coming in, calling in all the time. I was like, okay, well, you got to go. Because you want me to hand you the money, but you don't want to work for it. See, that doesn't work for me. And it's the same way with my son. Like, he's 10 years old. Like, there's certain things that he wants. He has to do chores and work for it.
Right.
I don't believe in giving us things that are just going to handicap us. That is the worst thing you can do. And I've had family members that I've done that to because my mother has asked me to. And when she passed away in 2009, I sent all of them letters saying, listen, you got 60 days to become gainfully employed because I'm not going to keep supporting you like this.
Are you serious?
100%. They all got jobs.
Plot twist, he also played his aunt.
Oh.
He fired himself.
Wow. Fired himself.
I'm not mad at that because if you just keep giving someone money, where's the motivation? It makes them lazy. I had people that I've helped out, and I'm like, I would like to show you how you can sustain this on your own. Because I think sometimes when you rescue someone, they think, I can always go to you.
Yep.
And then that becomes, I'm sure you all know, like, have experience.
Yeah. All the time, B. All the time.
Yeah, like.
Sometimes it got to the point where it's like, don't even pay me back. Like, I just need you to do something for me.
Just do something, yeah.
Right. Yeah, like a favor that is equal or lesser value of what I just gave you money for. And don't make it weird, because that's not what I'm talking about.
Don't make it weird.
I found that when I've helped people or just given somebody money or loaned someone money, that's the fastest way to lose them in my life.
Oh,
They avoid you.
interesting.
Yeah.
Like, you help them out, you give them a little help financially, and then they just disappear?
Well, if they ask you for a loan, they're disappearing. A lot of times you end up losing that friendship because like they either don't want to or just feel like they just avoid you. You know, and I'm like, wow, I helped you and you avoid me.
Yeah, that's weird. That's something they got going on in their life.
True.
You know, there's so many things where it's like, I feel like sometimes we make it about us, but it's like something else is going on with this other person, and they probably don't want to say it.
But
like,
there are some people who are selfish and like will look at your situation and be like, they got it, and don't see the urgent need to pay you back. Like, there's a person who I had to cut out of my life because I fronted them $5,000, and they had the nerve to like ask me for more. Like, right after I gave them the $5,000, and I still haven't gotten no level of like payback. I even sent a letter to them saying like, yo, this is an attempt to collect the debt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That sort of thing. And the thing is, it's like they said in Bronx Tales, sometimes you gotta let people buy their way out your life.
And that's,
Sure.
yeah, and that's the price, that's how much it costs to buy them out.
I do think about it from like, it's tricky though when you think about it from Tyler Perry's perspective, because he does employ so many people, right? Where it's like, to fire your own aunt, like, she had to work hard to get fired.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she had to be real obvious about a lot of this stuff.
And probably he was more offended, like, listen, I'm trying to help you. I'm giving you an opportunity, and you're not taking advantage.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people want to work for Tyler Perry?
Yeah.
And that can't get in? You have a direct channel, and you're taking advantage of it.
What if we found out it was her job to make the wigs look good?
Oh, no.
Well, then she should have been fired.
No.
And everybody's like, you're right, Tyler. You did what you're supposed to do. Moving on, we found out a fun fact about Tracee Ellis Ross. Now, she packs for her trips in a very unusual way. And recently, while she was on stage at the Travel Plus Leisure's annual World's Best Summit, Tracee says she always packs one bathing suit, a flip-flop, I don't know if that means a pair or one
Gotta
single
be the
flop.
set, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you stack them together, and one little dress so she can roll it up, and there's always 2 undies. She also hand washes her undies in the sink with shower gel or bar soap before rinsing and hanging them up on a towel rack to dry. She added, if she's gone for a month, you can't pack a month's worth of underwear. They take up a lot of space.
I think you really can pack underwear for a month. They're
Seems
not
like
that
the
big
easiest thing.
anymore. I start my packing with the underwear, and I packed for 30 days, and it takes literally like maybe this much space in the suitcase. They're not huge. I mean, she has way more ass than I am, but still, it's not that much.
Yeah, I don't. The very first, Claudia, I think you're speaking to the people here. The first thing I pack is underwear.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing: is I haven't soiled myself since I was a child. But when it's time for me to start packing, I like go to the worst place in my head where I'm like, well, this could happen, and what if this happens, and blah blah blah. And so I basically pack double the amount of underwear just in case.
Yeah.
Now, nothing has ever happened, and I always come home with clean underwear. But I'm packing it like I'm just losing control of myself.
You'd rather come home with some extra unused pairs of underwear than not enough. I'm not washing my drawers in the sink every day. Like, why I could be at the bar.
Like it's the 1920s?
Right.
No,
You're gonna
no,
wring them
thank
out
you.
and hang them on a clothesline.
Like, sweetheart, you could take all 20 pairs of those underwear and put them in one sock.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just stuff them in your sock, and that's your underwear sock.
Tracee, you are rich. You can also bring another carry-on bag and put like 1,000 pair of underwear if you want.
Yeah.
I would feel better if she said, hey, I buy underwear when I get to where I'm going.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah.
So you don't have to pack and bring that back. Because I know some people literally like throw their underwears and socks away while they're on the road.
Really?
So they don't have to worry about bringing those dirty clothes back.
Oh. How about that?
Oh, so this is her. I think this is her her carry-on bag, but in her packed bag is more. So okay, that makes sense.
Now,
I feel like,
she's
okay,
got me. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, if we get stuck somewhere and my bag doesn't make it, I have clothes for two. Okay.
Now I'm with it.
You went from being almost gross to over-prepared.
Yeah.
In one sentence.
Look at that. Look at life.
Almost gross to like actually quite responsible.
Damn, hey, much respect to you, Tracee Ellis Ross.
Grownish.
What a twist. What a twist on the story. All right, we got to take a quick break. But after the break, did Prince hide in some bushes to get a female celebrity's attention? And we got hair drama that would have Tina Turner turning over in her grave. All of that and so much more in 2 minutes.
Welcome back.
Hey.
Now, could you imagine Prince, the Prince, hiding outside in some bush? And no, not that kind of bush, the other kind, shrubbery. Well, he did, and according to Nicole Scherzinger, here's what she said happened while on Hot Ones.
We're out by this pool at this hotel, okay? Me and my girlfriends were like, this is awesome, the sun is shining, we get to see Prince tonight in concert, it's gonna be magical. And me and my friends are talking, and when we hear a psst, psst, and we see this bush kind of moving, and we hear psst, psst. And I'll be damned, Prince was hiding behind the bush trying to get my attention.
Well, because he can't walk out.
I guess so.
Yeah.
He was hiding behind.
Probably not his first time pulling that move,
He was just hiding behind the bush, full shoulder pads like this. It was like noon, fully dressed, looked amazing, just princing it up, heels and all. And I wouldn't be here, Sean, without him.
Wow.
Yo, in my head, that last picture they showed, that's his ghost outfit. Like, whenever I think of Prince, that's how I think of Prince.
Yeah.
When people tell stories about him, he's wearing a purple joint. Really.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Puffy shirt.
I think that's a huge compliment. Listen, I was just thinking about this yesterday. things are creepy and gross when you're not attracted to the person.
Yeah,
But
right.
if you are, it's cute and romantic and it's a good story. But if it's ugly, you don't want it. It's gross.
Yeah, I believe Chris Rock has a whole bit about this, about how it's only
Sexual harassment?
It's only sexual harassment. Yeah, it's never sexual harassment if it's Denzel.
Right.
You know, I think that was the
What
joke.
a romantic night.
Yeah.
With someone creepy. Yeah, well, I think it's cute. And she's totally his type, though.
Oh yeah.
All those androgynous, I don't exactly know what continent you come from, people. He mastered the art on bagging those types of people
And they
putting
kind of
them in
look
a
alike
band.
a little bit.
Apollonia,
Yeah,
Vanity.
interesting. Yeah.
He's a very pretty person.
Because he had a crush on the girl from New Girl, right? Or not New Girl.
I know who
you
you
know
talk
the
about.
story.
I know the girl you're talking
can't
about. Not
remember her
Zooey
name.
Deschanel.
Not Zooey Deschanel.
The other girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Nicole's a beautiful girl. Like,
And Nicole's
I'm
drop
sure that's not the first guy that's hidden in her bushes.
Probably not. To
I mean,
try
to
to get
stalk
her
her.
attention.
Yeah, of course.
that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Someone's probably hiding it right now.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I mean, you've been in the like Hollywood lexicon for a while. Did you ever have any encounters with Prince?
No, I went to one show in New York, and he like performed till like the early. It was like I think All Star or Super. It was some big sporting event, and I'm so glad I got to see him live because once he passed, remember he was starting to do a lot of shows before.
Yes. Yeah, he sure was.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay. All right, Claudia. What is the weirdest thing that some guy has done to try to get your attention?
Came to my house, took the screen off the window of my house, and was watching me in my kitchen cook.
Was this Richard Ramirez?
No. Well, he was close. He ended up being sent to prison.
Okay.
He did 3 years, and then he died in prison. So it was a happy ending.
That's not
Died in prison, like of just like I went to sleep, didn't wake up.
He's
or
a diabetic, so in between dialysis, he would come stalk me. And he didn't even have a car, so that is dedication. That's how you show a girl you
Wow.
You know, a lot of people wish they would love that hard.
Listen, I either get or I must drink your blood.
Wow.
There's no middle.
Wow. I was really hoping you were gonna say something like some guy like heard what kind of candy I liked and like brought it to me, and then we went on a couple dates, and it just didn't work out. But he was a sweetheart.
He did give me candy once. He intercepted me at a restaurant. I got out of my car, and valet opened the door, and it was him. And he handed me candy, but there was some missing from the box, so I don't know if they were tampered with. So he wrote this letter. He said he was King Tut, I was Cleopatra, and he could smell my blood and wanted to be in my skin. I don't know. All I know is men don't try as hard as they used to.
It's such a weird scale there because I operate in a headspace where, like, hey, you gotta like who likes you, and if somebody goes the extra mile, go for it. But but there are some people who wouldn't take it as cool as you're taking it and be like, he was going for it.
Listen, I can appreciate a man that knows what he wants.
Yeah. A man who's willing to put in the work.
And put in time.
Dedication, yeah.
3-year sentence.
Put in real time.
So did you mandatorily have to know where he was at once he got incarcerated?
He had
was
a
that part of
10-year order, went to prison. They let him out after 3 months because it was his first offense and prison overcrowding in California. And then he violated the order within a few weeks. He couldn't stay away.
Okay.
Thanks.
Wow.
Listen, it's all about your perspective. Hey, that's the last guy who really was in love with me, okay? So I'll take it where I can get it.
Did you ever think about him?
Yeah.
I mean, that guy did put in when he was committed.
In heaven, do you think he's with you?
I don't know if he's in heaven.
Okay. Fair enough.
I didn't mean to make it
Y'all
dark.
could debate about that in the chat. What do you think that person goes who really loves someone?
Yeah.
And they transition over in the process?
He loved her so much. He loved you so much, Claudia. He was just like, every fiber of his being was like, I am going to wear her skin.
On his deathbed, he was, Claudia, you bitch.
Yes, I was so close. I took the screen off. I was watching her cook, and I was about to cook her.
He didn't even have a car either. Like, that is, listen, fellas.
Oh, on foot.
Listen, ladies, stop making excuses for this man. There's always a way. If there's a will, there's a way. If he wants to get at you, he will.
Wow. Okay.
That's the determination, like, that your grandfather probably used to get your grandma back.
And our grandmas used to wear those long muumuus, and they would make it. They got like 10 babies put in them. Their grandpa could not keep their hands off them. It was more romantic back then. I don't know.
And had to dodge the racism.
There's something there, you guys.
Yeah, all right.
Rest in peace, Robert.
This man now has a name.
Wow.
You've humanized him. Thank you. Thank you.
He's a real person. Okay, moving on. Jerry O'Connell and Rebecca Romaine talked about how they handle their finances as a married couple with Andy Cohen, and here is how they do it.
do this?
For sure.
Yeah.
That's like one of the first conversations you have when you decide to enter into a legal
And
agreement.
you said,
together.
you know what? Let's do separate accounts. But obviously, as far as the kids go,
There's a community pot.
Oh, okay, there is. Do you both contribute
Yes.
to the kids' community
Quarterly,
pot? Quarterly.
Yeah.
And it's a set fixed amount.
Oh
that
no,
is
that
family
Becca,
expenses.
These are the best questions,
There's so-
Andy.
and
this
we
is
can't
why
even
you are
answer
number
them
one.
fast enough.
I
We
have to
answers
say,
to all of these.
actually, I have to say, we actually throttle how much money we put into that account. Sometimes.
What do you mean you
Depending on who's working more.
Oh, so you say
The one who's not working gets a little bit of a break,
Oh,
and the one
that's
who is working puts in a little more.
wow.
And we really tag team with work. You know, we also decided when our girls were born that we weren't going to. One of us would always stay home with our daughters.
Yes,
So
I
no one
love
else
that.
is ever going to raise them besides
right,
the
which
parents.
is why that talk gig was very good because
That's why
Rebecca
the
was
talk
booked and busy doing Star Trek in Canada 6 months.
That's cool. I hadn't heard of a system like that before.
I'm not mad at that, though. I think that the sliding scale with what you contribute, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And it works for the business too, because like not everybody's gonna be in float at the same time. And and you get to be around your kids and be there for those key moments.
And when you have an understanding in advance, there's no reason to like resent the person, like,
Right.
oh, you're not carrying your weight. No, we discussed it already. When things are slow for me, I'll stay home and I'll put less. And when things get better for me, I'll put more in.
I love it. I think it's super smart. Also, just for anybody who's watching, and of course HK worked with him a little more than I did. Jerry O'Connell's like one of the nicest human beings I've ever met in my entire life.
Very cool. Jerry O'Connell is as tall as Tom Cruise wishes he was. you know, like has the personality, the charisma. More plugged in on black stuff than you would think.
Really? Oh, yeah, I heard that about him.
Yo, son be like, when we was like prepping and doing Pictionary, he would be like on the Shade Room, like,
what?
He would be like on all the sites, you know what I mean? And dropping comments and stuff like that. I had no idea he was that plugged into what, because we would talk about just random things. Like, oh, you thinking of new Kendrick, huh?
Oh my God.
Oh, that's funny.
I love unexpected hit miss from white men. You know what I mean? I really do. I think that's like super cool because you don't have to be engulfed in our culture, and you are, and I like that.
Yeah.
You too, Tanner.
Thanks, CJ.
Yeah, I like that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's interesting. It's a funny. I don't know. I honestly feel awkward even commenting on it. Like I am happy to exist in the space. Does that make sense?
Well, I think you should appreciate when you see that. You know what I mean? I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
This is just throwing it back to Jerry and Rebecca for just a second. You know what I would love is I would love some kind of a show where celebrities like that talk about like how they set their taxes up.
Okay.
Like do they have a little company between the two of them and they pay into it? Because if you have a company, you can hire your children.
That's right.
Right? So I'm an S corporation and everything that I do on camera flows through my corporation, which then like pays me separately. And so while I'm listening to them and they're like, oh, we have a joint account, we both pay into it according to how we're doing, like my brain goes to like, oh, your accountant set up a couple different companies for you to move this money, and you're saving on payroll taxes and stuff like that, and also getting money to your kids in like an interesting way. And so I don't know. Sometimes I nerd out about that stuff.
They seem smart, and I think that those kids are definitely on the payroll.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta beat the IRS the way they're beating you.
That's right.
Right, yeah.
All right, moving on. If you thought you was going to get your Tina Turner on by ordering one of her wigs, think again, because they have been snatched from her website less than 24 hours after making their debut. Now, after fans criticized the $1,000 wig made by Tina's hairstylist, Arthur Johns, fans said the wigs looked a little Orphan Annie wiggish, and it wasn't giving what it's supposed to give. Was this just a money grab?
I did think that picture was older Ice Spice, the one that they showed
yeah.
for this one. And Ice Spice also looks like Annie. We'll
Yes,
leave that
she
there too.
It does. I never got that aesthetic.
With the curly wig look. When I think about my favorite like Tina Turner looks, it's the big spiky hair, like Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
What's love got to do with that? Right there.
I love myself some big 80s hair.
Yeah.
And I think it's just like maybe being a kid then and like, you know, I feel like all the women had it back then.
Lots of hairspray in high school back in the 80s and 90s. Lots of it.
Teasing it out.
Those wigs served as a calendar. Like you can look at it and be like, oh yeah, I know roughly around. Like within 5 years this picture was taken.
Who needs carbon testing when you have the big hair like that?
Yeah. Who thought it was a good idea to start selling Tina Turner wigs though? Like, who's the person who's like, R.I.P. Tina? All right, now what we're gonna do?
Right,
You know?
right, yeah.
And they waited quite some time.
Yeah.
Because it's been a minit since we lost the icon.
Right.
And
do you think it's disrespectful doing that, or do you think they thought they were paying homage, or they were just being greedy?
I'm gonna go with the last thing. Definitely greedy.
Yeah.
Because why?
Yeah.
Why?
Everything's not a good idea. Everything that is in your brain should not come out of your mouth.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
but you know what? Party City is going away, right?
Yeah, are they?
Yeah, I think in Party City, when Halloween time, they would always have like those classic, iconic 80s looks. So maybe with them going away, they're trying to fill that gap.
Wait, where are we gonna get our terrible Halloween costumes from?
Y'all did this to yourselves.
these
Amazon.
days. Yeah.
Amazon is, so now they're gonna
We
just
did it.
run the world.
That
all
was the whole play.
Yeah.
I'm like, and I hate that Target picked the side that they picked to this whole DEI thing, because like I used to
And
work at
Walmart.
Target for a long time. But man, when it's all said and done, Bezos is gonna be your guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, man, well, we gotta go to break. We're gonna come back in 2 minutes. We're gonna talk fact or feelings and a new trend in marriage, all that more after the break.
A new marriage trend.
Okay, we're back, and it's time for Facts or Feelings, where we give our thoughts on whether this discussion online is all facts, you know, that there's some truth to this, or just feelings, and you can't rock with this. Now, the subject is cheating in marriage.
Ooh.
Let me talk about this cheating thing for a lot of people. The thing that you feeling right now, it'll pass. Think about this, ladies, from this perspective, and then think about this, fellas, from this perspective. Ladies, you've been with this man through thick and thin, right? Father of your kid, structuring your household, you've loved on him, all of that. He had a moment of weakness or a couple moments of weaknesses, right? From a selfish perspective, are you going to let somebody benefit from all of the things that your husband is now becoming as a result of you being emotional in that one particular moment? Are you going to let your man you gonna throw that whole situation, your whole marriage, everything that y'all built and worked for just because you're emotional at that particular moment over some sex? It seemed bigger than what it really is. It's really not. It seems much stronger and much more of an issue than it really is, but it really ain't.
Okay, facts or feelings. A woman shouldn't leave marriage over some sex.
I am an equal opportunity employer, okay? The way men be carrying on when they find out their woman talked to another man, went to coffee with another man, and the way they would react, keep the same energy. If you could just let it roll off of your back when it comes to your woman and another man penetrating your woman, being all inside those guts, then okay. But I just can't do the one-sided. Ladies, he's such a gaslighter right there.
Yeah.
He's like, ladies, are you gonna really throw it all away and let your feelings get in the way of this man that's doing this thing? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. If it's a two-way street, then fine. But what you're not gonna do is guilt me into doing something that you could never do for me. That's what I think is like ridiculous. I'm so sick of that. But if it's even, then yeah, let's let the games begin.
I definitely think guys, we don't take it as well.
No.
Women take it bad.
Yeah.
But we don't take it as well at all. And, like for him to say what he's saying, he got to offer up the other side of the table, too. Yeah. If the shoe was on the other foot, how would you react to that situation?
Yeah. No, I don't know what this guy's talking about. Because it's not just, it's never just the sex. It's never just the physical component. It is the honesty or lack thereof.
Right.
It is like the intentions and all the stuff that like leads up to it. Where it's like some people have like open relationships and that works for them because there's honesty in that. Like I can trust what you were saying and doing because you were telling me up front about this sort of behavior. But then to cheat, it's not just the sex. It is the lack of trust. Yeah. I think that is the barrier there.
And giving someone like something over you. Like the person that you're like pillow talking with and cheating on me with knows things that I don't know and that can like kind of fire shots on social media, kind of jab at me. It's that part of like you were like in cahoots with another person and we have this supposed happy home. Again, you're better off to just like, hey, I want an open relationship. I want to like sometimes dabble. Then she's like, all right, at least you told me. But thinking your man is one way and then you be like, not my man, he would never. And then you find out, oh, he's out there. That's the part that hurts you.
Well, allow me to play devil's advocate.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
So what do we qualify as cheating? Is it the release of sexual endorphins with another person? Or is it the release of the sexual endorphins off of the idea of another person? Because, ladies and gentlemen, so many of you cheat on your significant other with your phone and your computer.
Ooh.
You do it every day.
Ooh.
You have your little different genres saved.
Yeah.
Maybe even your favorite stars. Your favorite OnlyFans models. And this is also some level of cheating if you want to go tit for tat.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, y'all got to figure out how to work through it. You know what I mean? Like my man was saying, are you going to let the streets win over some sex? Or y'all going to try to work through your issues to find out how y'all can meet each other in the middle to either A, get the type of sex that you want from your partner, or B, complete the puzzle so you don't have to like step outside the relationship. It's easier said than done, but it does require work.
To answer your question, I think cheating is anything that's like sneakiness behind your partner's back. Like if you're like going to send a text to someone, even if you've never touched this person physically, and you're like saying something, flirting with them, and you have to put your phone down, or your partner could not see that. That's what cheating is.
And that's emotional cheating, right?
No.
Refer to it? Yeah.
I mean, sometimes that's even worse. You know what I
But
mean?
let's just say if your partner found your hub history, would that bring you closer or push you further apart?
My Google history?
No, your
typically hub history.
What's hub?
Any site that ends with hub.
Oh, my bad. Well, in Texas, Pornhub is banned.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's outlawed. So thanks a lot, Texas.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, no more sexist in Texas. But yeah, that's a very interesting point. Is like if your significant other, if you were consuming whatever kind of pornography or OnlyFans or whatever it was, and your significant other found out, is that cheating?
Not to me.
Not to you?
I think it's like someone you could really get with, and you like, it could really happen. Not like some fantasy, like you're sending messages to someone that you're never going to meet. I think it's not good, but I don't think it's the same thing as
go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, if I was in an exclusive relationship with a girl and I found out that she went and had coffee with like an ex-boyfriend, that would be a major issue.
Is that cheating?
That I don't know that that's necessarily cheating right there by itself, but that's a huge red flag to me. Like if we're in an exclusive relationship and then I find out that this happened. It's one thing if you're like, hey Tanner, I have HK's in town. We're gonna go like grab coffee or whatever. I'd be like, well, why do you need to do that for? Like, what is the intention of this meetup for like a coffee? And so like, I wouldn't describe myself as a jealous person. Like if we're out at a bar or whatever and some guy comes up and like flirts with you and hits on you, like honestly, there's a part of me that's like, that's right.
That's right.
Because you're still coming home with me and I can trust you in this moment. But like, if I find out that you've gone behind my back and you're like having, it's just dinner with the girls, and I find out instead of the girls, it's one guy, that might be an issue.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what?
Am I crazy?
We need to have part 2 of this conversation in the future because like there's a lot to unpack here.
Oh, is there a lot to unpack?
A lot to unpack. All right, now if you're looking to get married, you might want to try this. So Samantha Wynn Greenstone and Jacob Hoff are married and consider themselves soulmates, except they're in a mixed orientation marriage. Check this out.
Answering the 3 most common questions about my marriage with my gay husband. Number 1, do we sleep together?
Yes.
Number 2, do we have an open relationship?
No, we are monogamous.
Monogamous.
That, for some reason, doesn't register with people. It's pretty straightforward.
No, but you can ask Google if you need to define what that word means.
Yeah.
We'll even spell it out for you in the comments. Number 3.
What was number 3?
Oh, people always want to know why you don't identify as bi.
Yes, why don't I identify as a Pan's Labyrinth or a bisexual? Well, this is why. Because I'm gay up here. That's how it works. That's the only thing I'm attracted to is men and Samantha. Samantha's my soulmate. Doesn't make me attracted to anything other than men in this world. It just happens to be a fluke in the system that we work together and are soulmates.
Which is why we are in a mixed orientation relationship.
It would be. It would be. Two of my cousins.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
Possibly from Oregon.
Possibly from Oregon.
Yeah.
Possibly related. That's when we get real far out there.
So does he think, he said he's gay up here, so I'm wondering, they said they do sleep together, so I'm wondering, does he think about men while he's having...
See, my thing is, my interpretation of that is I feel like they like real sneakily sort of dodge the bullet, and it's like, do we sleep together? I don't
in the bed together, right? There's no penetration going on.
I don't think so.
Well, I think there's some penetration going on when Sam puts on a fitted hat, turns it backwards, and identifies as Sam.
Oh.
Instead of Samantha. Yeah. Like, because do you think maybe she's Rogering him?
So he's doing the bending.
Yeah, in that scenario.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, school me, Seymour, I have no idea how this would really work. I'm trying to understand the world. At the end of the day, if you're happy, great.
Do you think they maybe don't have sex like you were kind of alluding to?
Here's the thing is I said that, but then I also kind of like regret saying that in some form or fashion. Because also, like, I don't know what works for everybody. And if the two of them are happy together, then HK, I'm like you. I'm like, more power to you. I'm not trying to yuck anybody's yum. But it's I think we would all agree it's a little non-traditional, which is fine, which is also fine.
Do they seem happy to you?
They seem happy in that 45-second video.
And I bet you their house is neat.
Well, his side at least.
Possibly, depending if we talking to Samantha or Sam. We don't know. We don't know.
But you know what? There's a lot of women have really close gay male friends, and they are very good listeners. Not to just generalize, put everyone in a box. I'm not meaning it like that. I'm being in a complimentary way. A lot of times, like, you see this friendship happening. But as far as going the next step and marrying them, I haven't seen a lot of that. But I understand the attraction of, like, he's a man, and probably she feels protected around him. Take the sex part away, he's probably a really good listener. He probably provides her with the emotional support, and they probably have a good time together, you know?
Do you have a friend that's high enough up on the leaderboard that is gay that where, like, you would possibly do a mixed orientation marriage with that person?
I have a couple, like, I have a really sexy gay male friend that I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure? Because, no, I have two. Let me tell you, I'm gonna give y'all a name right now. Karamo Brown.
Yeah.
Fine as hell. I used to say all the time, I'm like, are you sure? And he said, look, you fine too. I'm like, listen, we might have to work something out one day. I'm just any successful, got a talk show. Karama, I still love you. And if you're ready, I'm ready.
Oh, fun. Okay, all right, after the break, we got more side dish. We're gonna see you guys back here in 2 minutes.
You got 2 minutes to respond, Karamo.
All right, Headkrack, Tana, these guys were on their podcast, and they have a question for men, and let's see if you agree.
Do men age out of certain words?
Ooh, we talking now.
Like, hi. Like, imagine you introduce me to somebody.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is my boy Cam.
Hi. It's weird. Next time you see your homeboy, say hi. See how he look at you.
Let me call Boo. Hi.
Black man.
Hi.
It does make you sound like a shy person meeting someone for the first time you have a crush on when you say it like that. And especially my man who got the dreads, like his hair moves a little bit. Hi.
It's totally awkward. It's like, hi. It's a little goofy.
I will hit the hi if I'm like across a counter. Like if I'm at, I don't know, if I'm ordering food or whatever, I always like address the person. I'll be like, hi. And then I'll just like go into the order. But in personal spaces, I'm not out here like hi very often.
I think it's hi alone.
Yeah.
Because hi, how you doing?
Yeah.
Not weird. Hi, pause, weird.
Yeah, unless you're actually high and you don't have the rest of the words. You're alone.
Hi.
You know, the other sentences will not form and crowd around the high and you just stuck there. Man, like, because I can't think of the last time I just said a hi by itself to somebody, but I definitely be like, hi, my name is Headkrack, or a hi, you know, followed by other, like, you know, nouns, verbs, and adjectives.
So maybe you rushed into saying, my name is Headkrack, because maybe subconsciously you've always felt that hi alone,
avoiding
standalone is weird. So you quickly backed hi up with, my name is. Hi, my name is.
Yeah, kind of like how you age out of crying when you get hurt. You know, when's the last time you hit your knee and like cried?
No,
as
doesn't
an
happen
adult
anymore.
But,
Yeah.
you know, like what's the breakout age of that? Like
Somewhere in your teenage years, I think that's like the cusp. You're entering adulthood. You stop crying. Yeah.
Well, I'm a girl, so we cry. I cry happy tears a lot, though.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Like, I see people winning at something like gymnastics,
Oh,
like
sure.
overcoming an injury. I'm like, I am a mess during the Olympics.
Really? Oh, yeah.
Happy tears. I know. Sea murder. It's my nickname. You can't see it, but I'm so emotional when I see that.
There's certain slang like that I could never get on board with that I just felt like was too young for me. Like cap. Cap was one of those I could just never put that into my into my daily use.
No cap.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like you gotta force certain words in.
Yeah.
Like when you gotta strategically, say it now.
Like suburban people, like, you know, old couples saying like, you know, getting jiggy with it and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Please stop.
Yeah.
It's very, very cringy.
Yo, you remember when like suburban people was like for shizzle?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, for shizzle.
It was so
And when they would follow with my nizzle, hold up now.
Too close. It's too close.
You tried it. You freaking tried it. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Any other words? I'm trying to think of any other words that sound silly as you get older.
You betcha.
You betcha.
Yeah.
You still say that?
I don't know that I ever hit. I don't know that I ever hit a you betcha.
I did like clowning Sarah Palin. I was like, you betcha.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I was her for Halloween one year.
No, that's a
I feel like darn it is out of here too.
Darn it.
You gotta say the full curse.
Yeah,
What about dope? That was like an 80s and 90s. Oh, that's dope.
I will say dope.
I'll
from
still
time
hit
to
the
time.
dope.
I think I might have texted that to someone
Dope, yeah.
today.
I like dope. Like,
Yeah.
do the youngins look at us like we're like dinosaurs?
Yeah, is that like the bee's knees? Like when they hear me say dope, they're like, yeah, that's an old man. All right, we're gonna be back. We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna be back in 2 minutes with everybody's favorite game.
Whose cousin is it?
Welcome back. All right, it's time for everybody's favorite game. Whose cousin is it? Dun, 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 dun.
6'5", 6 feet. Now I'm 5 feet. Then I'm 5 feet. 6 feet. I'm sorry.
We're getting in trouble, Okay, Claudia, you remember this, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, great. All right, here we go. When Grandma puts the G in Gangsta, so a 65-year-old Meemaw is swapping out her moo-moo for an orange jumpsuit. She just got hit with a 20-year bid for going full Gangs of London and moving more than a ton of cocaine across the UK.
And get this, Gangsta Granny didn't do all alone. It was a whole family affair, including relatives, including her sister, and even some of her own kids.
Wow, okay, the Queen Pin. Excellent, excellent wordplay there. The Queen Pin and her familial pawns pushed weight from April to November of 2023 and racked up a smooth $107 million. Grandma said, fixed income where? She used the dirty money to fund her luxurious lifestyle and some plastic surgery.
BBL Granny, BBL Granny. Queen B12 will spend 20 years behind bars. Her daughter will serve 11, and the other members of the non-narcotics ring will serve 13 and 15-year sentences.
Oh, wow. Okay, quick recap. This is a woman. She's in the UK. She's 65. She got 20 years for her drug empire, and she employed her relatives and even her kids. I mean, that's a family business. Mm-hmm. That's a family business right there.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I'm going to go with, who you going with?
Yeah, the UK, is it the London of it all?
The London of it all, and just like having the whole family on board. It's given like we used to be in a trailer, and now we're like gonna all like rise out together. I feel like we would be more with our friends, and not really bring your family into it as much. I don't know. That's what I think.
I think
I'm going Caucasian on this one.
Yeah, getting money with the mandem. Yeah, I definitely gonna have to go with Tanner's cousins on this one because it is difficult for people to get guns in the UK, more or less cocaine, and I think you have to like know somebody and know somebody and know somebody and know some people to make that happen. And I just don't think the people who I've encountered know those people.
It's very arrogant. It's very like, we're gonna get away with this. And
it's interesting because I agree with everything that you guys are saying, but we're thinking about American culture.
That's true.
And our London cousins are a little different than us.
I'm definitely thinking about it with a London lens. I watch a lot of London gang shows, Top Boy.
Okay.
And just that.
Long live. Because here's the other thing. Here's where my mind goes is like we've been wrong a lot about our who's cousin, and I feel like Kim and company might be trying to lead us astray with the London component.
I know. Like my runner-up is Indian.
I was just gonna say other.
Okay.
They do have a large Indian population and Jamaican population in the UK.
They do. But
the only people there that use spices.
The only one.
That's true.
They came back on the boat with Chris and them.
Who is it?
All right, man. So as we do at this time,
move that van.
Surprise.
Yo, Deborah Mason.
And she
And back in the-
and she moved the cocaine on that bed and gave it to
Tisha. Wow, Deborah Mason. Can we get that photo of her back up?
Yeah.
That is the most British-looking person I've ever seen.
Exactly how it's
Got the glasses on and everything.
Yeah.
She looks like she's like, and I'll do it again, and I'll do it again.
$107 million. You're moving some serious product.
Yeah, it's
That's
worth it.
a lot of coke.
It's worth it.
The weather is bad. The food's not seasoned. They need some party favors to fill
Something
it.
to do, man. Well, thank everybody for rocking with us, man. Be sure you like, subscribe, everybody in the chat. Big up yourselves. Appreciate all the love you've been showing us.
Yeah, and don't do drugs, guys. Don't do drugs and don't get your family in on it.
Well, I'm not saying don't sell them. I'm saying don't get caught.
Don't get caught. There's that part.
Where can people follow you?
At Claudia Jordan, and check out my podcast on Wednesdays, Accidentally Informed. Thank you for having me.
All right, man. Stay informed with us. We'll see y'all mañana.
Bye.
Drewski does whiteface and the internet has some thoughts. Will he get canceled for it? Plus, another Young Thug jail call gets leaked, but this time he and Mariah the Scientist are taking shots at Glow River, and Glow responds.
Plus, did Nelly's ex, Miss Jackson, spin the block with her old boo, Floyd Mayweather? A lot to get to tonight. Welcome to Side Dish.
World is yours.
Oh, my God. Let me get the live pulled up here so I can chitty chat with the
Yes.
folks. Here at Side Dish, we're more than an appetizer when it comes to pop culture and fun. We're the whole meal fam. Guess what? You guys are so lucky tonight. Tonight, one of our exceptional Side Dish producers, the best in the business. I think she wrote this introduction herself. The one and only Bianca Haley.
Thanks for having
How
me.
are we doing?
I'm well. I am well. How are y'all doing?
We're doing pretty good.
Good. It's an emotional day